Let's kick things off with the legendary E30 325i and the B3 Audi 90. The BMW E30 325i is widely considered the blueprint for the compact sports sedan, offering a naturally aspirated inline-six that screams all the way to its red line. It's balanced, communicative, and feels like an extension of the driver. On the other side, the B3 Audi 90 brought something different to the table. With its unique 5-cylinder engine, it offered a distinct soundtrack and the confidence of quattro all-wheel drive. While the BMW focused on pure rear-drive engagement, the Audi provided a sophisticated planted feel that made it a fantastic all-weather machine. Both cars defined their respective brands in the late 80s, setting the stage for a rivalry that would evolve significantly over the next few decades. It's a classic battle of rear-wheel drive purity against the technical benefits of all-wheel traction. Moving into the 90s, we see the evolution with the E36 325i and the B5A4 2.8. The E36 325i moved the game forward with a more refined chassis and a multi-link rear suspension that turned handling into an art form. It remains a benchmark for steering precision. Meanwhile, the B5A4 2.8 arrived as a total game changer for the Audi brand. Its interior quality was leagues ahead of the competition, and the styling was sleek and modern. By pairing a smooth V6 engine with a chassis that felt incredibly solid on the road, Audi proved they were no longer just an alternative, but a serious luxury contender. These two represent a fascinating pivot point, where the BMW cemented its reputation as the driver's choice, while the Audi aggressively chased premium status with high-tech execution and a level of refinement that felt years ahead of its time. The early 2000s gave us the E46 330i and the B6A4 3.0. Many enthusiasts view the E46 as the pinnacle of the 3 Series lineage. It was perfectly sized, beautifully balanced, and the M54 engine was a masterpiece of smoothness and response. It just connects with the driver in a way that feels almost telepathic. Then there's the B6A4 3.0, which dialed up the luxury and road presence even further. Audi was truly leaning into their interior design strengths here, creating a cabin that felt like a sanctuary. With its refined V6 engine and the sure-footedness of its quattro system, it offered a more mature, composed experience. While the BMW was busy perfecting the art of the nimble sports sedan, the Audi was refining the art of the executive fast cruiser. Both are iconic pieces of engineering that aged remarkably well in the hands of enthusiasts. As we entered the turbo era, the E90 335i met the B9 S4. The BMW E90 335i was a bombshell when it arrived, bringing twin turbocharged power to the mainstream market in a way that felt like it had no right to be this fast. It was an absolute torque monster. Across the aisle, the B9 S4 utilized a refined supercharged V6 to deliver instant throttle response and relentless grip. Where the 335i invited you to play with the rear end and explore the chassis, the S4 was all about point-and-shoot efficiency. The BMW had that classic slightly raw, performance-first character, while the Audi felt like a high-speed bullet train designed to conquer mountain passes regardless of the weather. These two models highlight the differing philosophies of these manufacturers at the time. One focused on raw output and playful handling, the other on absolute all-weather precision and technical composure. Let's talk about the F30 340i and the B9 S4. By this point, the F30 had softened slightly compared to its predecessor, but the 340i model brought back the legendary B58 engine, which is arguably one of the greatest 6-cylinders ever built. It's incredibly tunable and feels effortless in daily driving. The B9 S4, meanwhile, had fully settled into its role as a master of traction. Using a single turbocharger, it prioritized mid-range punch and day-to-day usability. The BMW feels more agile and is often preferred by those who enjoy a bit of tail happiness, whereas the Audi is undeniably the better choice if you value a composed, clinical experience on every kind of road surface. It's a classic choice between the car that rewards your steering inputs with pure mechanical feel and the one that wraps you in a cocoon of high-tech stability and consistent, predictable performance. Next up is the G20 M340i versus the S4. The G20 is a massive leap forward for BMW in terms of chassis rigidity and tech integration. The M340i takes that foundation and adds a powerhouse drivetrain that is brutally fast in any gear. It manages to feel both like a true sports sedan and a high-end luxury car. On the other side, the S4 remains the king of the status quo, offering that signature quattro grip and a cabin that most critics argue is still the best in the business. While the M340i leans into its sporty roots with a sharper steering rack and a more playful attitude, the S4 delivers a smooth, effortless, and highly capable ride that makes covering long distances feel trivial. They are both incredibly competent machines that represent the absolute peak of the modern premium sports sedan segment for daily drivers. Moving into the executive class, let's look at the E34 M5 and the C4S6. The E34 M5 was the last of the hand-built M cars, featuring an iconic straight six that provided a linear and incredibly satisfying power delivery. It feels mechanical and organic. The C4S6, meanwhile, was Audi making a serious statement. By using the 5-cylinder engine in the sedan, they created a car with loads of character and an exhaust note that is still legendary today. It was a proper high-performance executive machine that could keep up with almost anything while carrying passengers in comfort. Where the BMW was about high-revving, rear-drive precision, the Audi was about force-fed power and the security of all-wheel drive. They both perfectly capture that 90s era where digital aids were minimal and the mechanical connection between driver and road was at its absolute zenith. The E39 M5 and the C5 RS6 represent a massive shift in the performance sedan world. The E39 M5 is often heralded as the greatest M5 ever, and for good reason. It married a glorious V8 with a chassis so perfectly tuned that it still defines what a driver's executive car should be. It is elegant, powerful, and remarkably simple in its mission. The C5 RS6 was Audi's answer in the arms race, utilizing a twin-turbo V8 and quattro to deliver massive, effortless acceleration that felt otherworldly for the time. It was the birth of the super sedan that could genuinely out-accelerate dedicated sports cars. While the BMW prioritized the intimacy of the driving experience, the Audi prioritized raw capability and storm-proof speed. Both are titans that set the bar for the segment in the early 2000s. The E60 M5 and the C6RS6 took things to the extreme. BMW went wild with the E60, shoehorning a high-revving Formula One-inspired V10 into a mid-sized sedan. It's a visceral, loud, and demanding engine that changed the character of the M5 forever. It is a masterpiece of theater. The C6RS6 went a different direction, featuring a massive V10 of its own, but with twin turbochargers bolted on. It was a monument to access and German engineering prowess, providing nearly unlimited power on the highway. Where the BMW forced you to work for the performance, the Audi just provided it instantly at any speed. One is a screamer that demands respect, and the other is a muscle car in a bespoke suit. These two machines represent a time of engineering madness that we likely won't see again. The F10 M5 and the C7S6 bring us into the era of refinement. The F10 M5 moved to a twin-turbo V8, focusing on usable torque and everyday speed. It became a faster, more comfortable, and much more complex car. Its ability to cover ground at an alarming rate is its defining trait. The C7S6 offered a similar experience, pairing its own twin-turbo V8 with the quattro system to create a quintessential high-speed cruiser. It's understated, luxurious, and incredibly quick when you need it to be. While the BMW definitely leans harder into the sports sedan persona with a more aggressive handling setup, the Audi excels at being the ultimate daily driver that doesn't scream about its performance. Both cars emphasize the shift toward turbocharged engines, focusing on huge mid-range power and the kind of long-distance capability that truly defines the modern super sedan segment. The F90 M5 and the C7 RS6 represent the absolute peak of internal combustion power for their respective manufacturers. The F90 M5 was a watershed moment because it was the first M5 to feature all-wheel drive, and it didn't lose any of the character that made it famous. It's an absolute monster that can also act as a docile family car. The C7 RS6, in its final iterations, was a wide-bodied, high-performance icon that defined the aggressive aesthetic of modern Audi sport models. It is fast, heavy, and incredibly planted. Where the M5 feels like a rear-biased sports car that happens to have extra grip, the RS6 feels like a precision instrument built for velocity. Both show how far the technology has come in managing weight and power, creating cars that defy physics on any road surface. Let's compare the M3 and the RS4. The M3 has always been the definitive sports sedan, defined by its incredible steering feel and a chassis that invites you to push harder. It is the yardstick that everyone else is measured against. The RS4 is a very different beast, leaning into the rally-bred heritage of Audi with a focus on maximum grip and everyday usability in challenging conditions. The M3 is usually more playful, offering a rear-wheel drive experience that rewards skill, while the RS4 offers a confidence that is hard to beat on a rainy or snowy day. The M3 feels like it was developed on a track, and the RS4 feels like it was developed for the real world. Both are legendary in their own right, reflecting the core philosophies of two very different approaches to fast road cars. Moving up to the absolute heavy hitters, the M5 versus the RS6. This is the ultimate duel of German super sedans. The M5 is a technical masterpiece that has successfully transitioned to all-wheel drive without losing its soul. It is sharp, engaging, and arguably the best all-around performance car on the planet. The RS6, meanwhile, is an icon of style and brutal, effortless power. It has a presence that the BMW simply doesn't, and its interior is a masterclass in materials. While the M5 is definitely faster and more agile in the corners, the RS6 is a car that you want to live with every single day because it just feels more special. It is a battle between the ultimate driver's machine and the ultimate luxury performance statement. Both represent the pinnacle of what a fast sedan can be. Next, let's look at the M550i and the S6. These are the sweet spots in the lineups, offering plenty of power without the extreme cost or harshness of the full M or RS models. The M550i uses a detuned V8 that is buttery smooth and surprisingly fast, making it a fantastic executive express that can easily keep up with much more expensive machinery. The S6 is a clever, high-tech package that balances performance and efficiency perfectly. It doesn't scream about its abilities, preferring to be a quiet, capable partner on long commutes. Both cars are aimed at the executive who values performance, but needs a car that is comfortable and unobtrusive. The BMW offers more of that traditional sports sedan feel, whereas the Audi is the better choice for someone who values a quiet, serene, and modern cabin above all else. Now we enter the hybrid age with the 330e and the A445 TFSI. The BMW 330e blends a punchy four-cylinder with an electric motor to provide great fuel efficiency and a surprising amount of low-end torque. It handles like a BMW should, with good weight balance despite the battery pack. The A445 TFSI is a more traditional, refined approach to the modern sedan. It uses a mild hybrid system to ensure smooth operation and impressive real-world fuel economy while maintaining a very comfortable ride quality. These two show how these brands are adapting their core models for a more sustainable future. The 330e is still for those who want that extra plug-in performance, while the A4 remains the perfect, reliable, and high-quality sedan for a daily driver that isn't chasing records but wants to be up-to-date. Finally, the M3 CS and the RS4 competition. These are the limited edition track-focused specials that represent the very best each company can do. The M3 CS is a sharpened, lightweight version of the M3 that feels more aggressive and track-ready in every way. It's got a stiffer chassis, more power, and a more focused suspension setup. The RS4 competition is the most engaging RS4 ever, with manual adjustable coilovers and a more aggressive tune. It's designed to be the ultimate expression of the RS4 ethos. Choosing between these two is about choosing your flavor of performance. Do you want the rear-biased, razor-sharp engagement of the BMW or the clinical, high-grip, and highly adjustable nature of the Audi? Both are collector-grade machines that perfectly summarize why we love this rivalry so much.